Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago. How you doing here? Yeah, we got horns. We got Tuesday, December the 9th, 2025. We're about to cross the street here. I think it feels a little warmer here. We got 27 degrees. We're supposed to get up to mid 30s. It's supposed to start raining about 4. There's Fords in there. We'll head down Clark Street just a block or two. Yeah, it's kind of some wind today. I'm working from home because of the rain tonight. I just don't want to walk home in the rain. It's not that I'm worried about damaging my equipment. It's air brake. It's and then it'll get really slippery on the undulating snow here. But hey, thanks for tuning in here. Christina, Sabrina Suburban Garden there, Winter, Naya Papaya, Prince, Grandma's Corner, Wayne, Krista, thanks everybody there. Hope I missed anybody. Hopeful and blessed. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, we got the Clark Street, and there's the Big Apple, Finer Foods. Yeah, well, I think we'll just, they deliver the groceries, Big Apples. Great for that. Big Apple Finer Foods here on Clark Street. And we'll show the Reby Moving and Storage. Usually I show it from across the street, but I don't feel like crossing the street. We show it so many times. Yeah, Mary Therese is tuning in there. Lorraine, Svansky. Yeah, how's everybody doing there? Mary Therese, thanks for being on. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's head to the zoo. I know we're going to the zoo a lot, but it's winter time. And we'll check out the monkey house and see if the lions are out. And we'll go to the chimpanzees and the great apes there. Here's the pharaohs. Here's the pharaohs, the Reby Moving Storage up close here. National Register of Historic Places, 1921 and 22. George Kingsley, the architect. A very regal name here for these. And see, they just had discovered King Tut's tomb in Egypt, at the end of World War I there, and that's why there was a craze of Egyptian revival architecture that swept the nation, not only the United States, but I don't know where else. There's a few of these. We found a few more further north. There's a Reby Moving, and it's used now as the Reby Moving and Storage. They have their desk there. You can store you can have storage there in that building. AW, how you doing there? Izzy, Stephanie, yeah, that's not if I missed anybody here. Yeah, so we went by this morning. There's the Cobden, that's William Sumner Frost is the architect, and we're just going to head over to the zoo. Then I'm thinking about going all the way to the farm and the zoo, so then we can see. We don't usually go to the farm and the zoo when there's snow on the ground. I don't know what this rain's going to do to this snow, so I'm trying to film as much snow. And so if it is raining at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock tonight, I'll send a message to everybody. I'm pretty much resigned that I'm not going to live stream tonight. And then we can stream more later in the week and before it gets cold. Here, we'll head all the way down to, let's go down Belden. Belden's such a nice street. And then we can head right over to the zoo. Mayor Clark Street at Belden, Lincoln Park, Chicago. There's the Cobden, that beautiful building. That's residential. It's always was residential. Built in the 1890s and 1880s, 1890s. Hey, they got the blue ribbons here. Yeah, so Hanukkah's coming up. Hanukkah is, I think this Sunday is the first day of Hanukkah. It goes for 8 crazy nights there, and then that'll lead us right into Christmas. So there's Mid-North Park here. Yeah, look at this park. You got a little snow drifts here. Hey, a little free library here with the snow on it. Yeah, Temple Truth. Mayor Belden Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago, 27 degrees. It's warming up a little bit. And I'm working from home today, that's why I'm not downtown. We were downtown yesterday, so if you want to see the Christ Kindle Market and the ice skating there at Millennium Park with Maggie Daly, you can check out yesterday's rerun. Appreciate that. We walked down Michigan Avenue after dark, checked out the Michigan Avenue lights. Hey, somebody left their towel there. They went to the beach. Abraham Lincoln Elementary, proud supporter there. There's Honest Abe there. Commonwealth and Belden here. Yeah. San Diego, how you doing there? California dreaming there. No, this is Chicago. I would love to do some streaming in Montreal. Thanks for tuning in there. But no, this is Chicago is where I live. Chicago, Illinois. United States of America, planet Earth. I like when people tune in from all over the world. We had somebody tuning in from Malta. Malta, that's awesome, in the middle of the Mediterranean. One time we had somebody tune in from Fiji. Shows how we're all connected. And of course, some people said they've been on the moon, Mars, people tuning in from Andromeda. I'll take them at their word there. We're intergalactic planetary here. Yeah, Northern Iran. Northern Iran, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. No, I'm working from home today. This is my lunch break. This is my lunch break. I know, thanks for the question here. A lot of people are new to my channel. Ask the people on the Lunch Bunch. For over the past 2 years on YouTube, of course we were on TikTok before that. I work downtown for an architecture engineering firm, usually every day at lunch. I eat lunch either before or after at the office when I'm working. A lot of Americans do that. You eat at your desk. And even before the age of live streaming, I would always walk around the downtown, check out things. I'm a city planner. So, you know, we checked out the State and Lake Station there. This is like newsworthy stuff. They're going to redo the State and Lake Station. So we checked it out for posterity. They're going to tear it down as an historic station. I wanted to document it. 1895. We walked through the one side of it. We'll walk through the other side. Before they close the station, they're planning on closing that State and Lake Station. Hey, they got the Christmas tree. Hey, you look good. They got the Christmas tree here. I want to get the nice footage. Hey, see, look, live Christmas tree, taking it, still putting the Christmas tree up here. So here we're at the Belton Stratford. We always go by here because I live near here. Here they're walking around the street, so we'll walk. And here we'll head through the William Shakespeare statue here. There's the Belton Stratford. It's beautiful. French Renaissance Revival. That's on the National Historic Register too. So here, let's head through here. Yeah, why do people assume that I'm like, you know, you think I'm just like taking requests? I know, I think that's just the nature of live streaming. People are like, go here, go there, you know, run errands for me. I want to see this, you know. Oh, I see you're walking to Chicago. Can you go 20 miles out of your way and see something I want to see? I'm going to film what I want to film. Thanks for understanding. I film what's easy and convenient to me because I'm a lazy live streamer. Thanks for understanding. I do have videos from all over the city. I got 1,700 videos on YouTube. We got 3,500 videos on TikTok. My first account was deleted. We had probably about 2,000 videos that TikTok deleted. And some of those were from the south and west sides as well, because I do go to the south and west sides. TikTok is censoring my Parkway Gardens videos. TikTok is doing that. And here, I'll lower my voice here. So here we're by the Lincoln Park Conservatory. I'm worried about that person. That's the third time we passed through there. Once last night, once this morning, and this morning, and it's got to be cold sleeping outside. But that person was there 2 weeks ago. I do support both by volunteering. It's very rarely we volunteer through my company working at the local food pantry. There is food pantries, the local churches down Fullerton, they provide outreach. There's free meals and socks, and there's actually places, I know people that have, I don't know if those churches provide shelter. There are shelters, but not everybody wants to use the shelter because the shelters come with their own stresses and annoyances. You're all crammed with people and kids crying. Some people can't sleep there. And people have bad experiences at the shelter, so they'd rather sleep outside, you know. And I think somebody laid some clothes there for that person. Wish them the best. Maybe I'll give them a care package there. But here's Lincoln Park, Chicago. We still see there's several people camped in tents under the LaSalle Street Bridge, which, you know, every once in a while, somebody will put in the comments, they're like, why don't you film the homelessness? I'm like, I do every day. You just don't see it. I walk by it every day. It shows you how it's hiding in plain sight. And here are the zoo lights. These are urban issues, city issues that affect all big cities, even small cities, and even cities as cold as this. There's the Schiller statue. See, Lincoln Park, here we are. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, see, here's the bus. You can catch the bus right up here. They're gonna, after 5:30, they let people in for the zoo lights. You gotta, I think Monday was the free night. We saw it last night. That's why there was a lot of people here. And then rest of the week, you gotta pay. You must pay. You will pay. This is called Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago. It's on the north side. And there's also a zoo on the west side in the suburbs called the Brookfield Zoo. And this is the one in the city. And during the day, like right now, from 10 a.m. to around 5 p.m. when they kick everybody out for the zoo lights, it's free. So we'll just walk through here. I'm not going to show you the whole zoo. I have reruns from last week where we saw different portions of the zoo. There's some geese. This is we went through the conservatory. We went through the Peggy Notebart Nature Museum. Now we're just going to check out a small portion of the zoo. And then we're going to go to the farm in the zoo, which is south of here, down by the South Pond. There's nice views of the city. And we'll see if any, I don't even know if that's open, but we'll go see if the pigs and goats and chickens or ponies are out in the snow there. The cows. D. Michael's tuning in there. Yeah. Yeah. See, welcome to my world. So we're in such a weird time here because for the first 2-3 years I was live streaming, usually people would say, you're going to get shot. Chicago's a horrible, dangerous city. I fully expect you to be dead by the end of the year. People would write that, you know, like I'm walking in the street. And I mainly walk on the north side of downtown. You know, people would always say, oh, look how weak this guy is. He won't go to the south or west side. And then when I go to the south or west side, they're like, you're going to get shot. I hope you die. They'll write that in the comments, you know. And then now we're in this period where people literally write this. And here, if people really believe this, how gullible are you? You know, and it's fine if you believe this. It's your opinion. You know, I got my opinions. You got yours. We're in the Lincoln Park Zoo here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm sure my mods, you've seen this, where people write, they're like, thank you, President Trump. People feel safe enough to walk around Chicago because ICE has saved Chicago. And that's the only reason this guy's walking around, because Trump is safe. And I was walking for 2-3 years before this. And I've been walking for 27 years in Chicago, all the way back to the Clinton administration. Bush second, Obama, Trump the first time, Biden and Trump the second time. And I don't feel any safer or less safe now than I felt 25 years ago. Here's SpongeBob. Here's SpongeBob. Hey, look at the nose. That's a nice ice carving there. There's SpongeBob. There's SpongeBob SquarePants. And there's these are the ice carvings at the Lincoln Park Zoo. There's a bunch of there's a field trip over there. I think they're taking a group photo with the lion there. But here, there's the Landmark Cafe, and there's the we got a dolphin. What is that? That's a wolf. Look, that's like a wolf howling at the moon. There's a swan, but SpongeBob takes the cake there. Look at that nice SpongeBob SquarePants ice sculpture there. Yeah, they're taking a big group picture over there. So I don't know if the lions are out. We saw the lions in the snow earlier. We got some reruns over there's the seals. Yeah, so Steve is illustrating some of the conspiracy theories that go around. And isn't it amazing? I was talking to some of the people, you know, I know that live in Chicago actually do support Trump. I don't, but some of my friends do. So I'm friends with people that voted for Trump in Chicago. So I work with them. So you know, it's you know, I understand. I have family members that are Trump supporters. I am not. So that's the vast difference of America. But I heard somebody, they were complaining that they were like, oh, people were picking on Melania with these conspiracy theories, and they actually cited the exact same one. They said, well, we know they picked on Michelle, but they shouldn't pick on Melania. But we should be allowed to pick on Michelle, but not and it shows you the hypocrisy, the double standard. The left does it. The left is hypocrites. I'm a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite for making that statement because, you know, you're just spreading misinformation and lies, but you might be a bot. And we'll treat you like a bot if you keep making statements like that. Hey, the waterfall here. Look at the snow. So here's the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. This is the Swan Pond. And look at the beautiful winter scene here. It's pretty, yeah. So Rhonda, That's fine. Don't come back here. You gave up on Chicago. You don't deserve to call yourself a Chicagoan anymore. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. You're free to move about the country. I don't know why you want to, you generally don't like this place. That's fine. Why are you watching? Why are you watching? You're watching just to bash the city, bash me? That's fine. That's your prerogative, but we know what's going on here, so we'll see if you can say some. Where would you recommend we go? Where would you recommend? What city is the ideal American city that puts Chicago to shame? Please let us know. Say something edifying that we can learn from you instead of just bashing stuff here. We're just filming the snow at a zoo. How pathetic are you? No offense. You know, I know you're just expressing your worldview, which is your prerogative. I'm allowed to push back. You come up and slap me in the face, I'll stand my ground here. So here's here's where the zoo lights are. Let's see if the swans are out here. What do you think about these ducks? You think these ducks are going to murder you in your sleep? Yeah. Hang out with the squirrels. When have Americans become so fearful? I've never seen a group of people so afraid of everything. I take the risk every day. This city has problems, I admit. I'm not trying to convince anybody to move here, vacation here, stay away. Watch my live streams and heckle me from the peanut gallery. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. But I'm not saying Chicago's great. Chicago's got a lot of problems. I don't understand why you're misinterpreting this. I'm just walking through the zoo on my lunch break, filming flamingos in the snow, and someone's going to bash this. Here's the Chilean flamingo. Look at these beautiful flamingos. Look at that. Look at that nice scene there. They're out in the snow. Pink flamingos eating the shrimp. So those birds always eat their food, and they just kind of hang around here and kind of glom on. It's like they're on SNAP. I'm joking because I know they're talking about cutting SNAP benefits. The economy's so good we can cut SNAP benefits. I'm joking. I know there's a lot of abuse and fraud, whatever. There's abuse and fraud in billionaires too. I don't see them going after them with the same fervor as poor people. It's interesting how you go after the weak people and the powerful people. They got too many lawyers. Here's the flamingos. Look at the flamingos here, Lincoln Park Zoo. How you doing here? So yeah, if you just tuned in, Lincoln Park Zoo, we got about 27 degrees. We got 12:16 in the PM. And hey, thanks for checking us out. Even the trolls, even the trolls can learn something, even if they won't agree with it. They can't look away. But hey, see, this is where we see the zoo lights at night. I'm probably not coming back. I think we filmed as much as we can film. We've covered this many times. So I messed up. I want to go through, what time we got here? 12. Since I'm already here, let's go to the we'll go to the gorilla house. Maybe we'll hit the small monkey house on the way back. I want to make sure I got enough time to get to the farm and the zoo and get back. This is on my lunch break, Chicago, Illinois. Every question that can be asked will be asked. And then, so anytime you live stream, you have to answer. You don't have to answer. You'll be asked uncomfortable questions like, why do you waste so much time live streaming? And then you think about it and you're like, yeah, I do waste a lot of time live streaming for this. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it because we got a great group of people here, the Lunch Bunch, my great mods. People tune in, and people that never experienced this zoo, they're like, wow, we didn't know Chicago had a zoo. And then they realize it's free and it's small. It's not huge. It's not the greatest thing in the world. There's some people, even something as simple as me filming a zoo is controversial. There'll be people that don't like that I'm showing great apes. They feel bad for the great apes more than they feel for human beings. And I understand that. I sometimes can have more empathy for animals than human beings too, including myself. So I understand. There, options for all day here. This is the Regenstein Center for African Apes here, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We got about 27 degrees. We got 12:18 in the PM here. There, you can see my reflection there. How you doing? A harmless troll. Nothing's harmless. Am I a harmless liberal? Here. Yeah. Let's see if There it is. There's the gorilla sleeping. Sleeping. Here's one over here. There, Western lowland gorilla. Look at this guy. How you doing there? How you doing there, buddy? Aw. How you doing? He said, what are you doing? Look, it's looking at us. How you doing? Beautiful gorillas here. Lowland African gorillas here. I know they look sad because they're just lounging around and they see people like me walking through here filming them. They said, why do we get no privacy? Hey, look at this one over here. It's nap time. All the gorillas are taking a siesta here. Look at that. Oh, look at that face. Well, Steve, I'm sure you would say my existence is as sad as these gorillas too. So, you feel sorry for these gorillas. Do you feel sorry for me? Hey, how you doing there? Again, I did not bring these apes here. This zoo was here before I moved to Chicago. This zoo will exist long after you and I are gone. And unless you can personally put an end to the zoo, I don't want to hear any complaining here. We're going to just relate to these animals, connect with them, appreciate it. If you care about these gorillas, hopefully you care about the environment and you care about pollution and you care about humans' connection to it. I'm sorry, I'm not serious. And you know, it's a continuum. It's not just caring about these animals, it's caring about how we all relate to the world, because humans have such a huge impact. And think about I often film the polar bears. They don't like the polar bears here, especially in summertime. I said, are you equally as concerned about the polar bears that are losing their habitat in the Arctic? And it's hard to talk about winter because they're like, oh, where's the global warming? I'm like, there are polar bears losing their habitat as we speak. People are more concerned about the ones that are living a good life in the zoo than the ones that are dying in the wild. And I'm sure if you're concerned about the ones in the zoo, you're concerned about the ones in the wild as well. So I appreciate that. I commend you that. I commend you, Steve, and everybody else for caring about animals. And hopefully we care about Palestine and Ukraine. If we care about these gorillas, we should care about humans dying and us hanging out with the leaders of the countries that are causing the killing. Here is, which is Netanyahu and Putin. Hey, look, he's munching on the lettuce there. Look, it's eating his lunch there. How you doing there, gorilla? So they got places to go in and get out of the cold. They can go outside if they want. I've not seen them out in the cold. The lion was out in the cold, but there's heated rocks that they can lay on. See if I can zoom in the face here. There, look. Munching on the lettuce there. Very nice. Yeah, there's one right there. There's one right there. Look at that. They're eating their lunch. Hanging in their hammock. Look at this one. It's hanging upside down. See, they live a good life. They got plenty of places to play. They're social animals. They got people to fellow gorillas to hang out with. They got a bunch of blankets. They're eating the lettuce. Look at this one up there. There's one sleeping up there. Hey, these are the gorillas at Lincoln Park Zoo here. See, you can find out their names. These are the ones that used to live here in the past. Here's the chimpanzees. The chimpanzees are all up on the roof there. Steve, why don't you feel empathy for Ukraine? You know, Ukraine did not start that war. What do you like Putin, Steve? You want to live in Russia with Snowden there? So you would rather hang out with a gorilla than a Ukrainian? I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not bashing you. I just, every once in a while I look up and your comment's always right there. So I know you're after me. You're trying to get me. You know, thank you for being a friend there, Steve. Yeah, here, we'll check out Santa Claus. You don't even feel empathy for your own country, your own people. Yeah, you're really causing me to like you more and more there, Steve. I'm being sarcastic. What do you think about Americans? What do you think about me? Tell me what you really think there, Steve. You know, don't hold back, please. Let it all out. Tell us what it's all about here. So here, let's head this way. I'm going the wrong way. Hey, Milan's tuning in there. How you doing there? Yeah. Yeah. You think Steve works for the GRU? I think you're probably right. I think Steve's probably KGB. It makes sense. I must have defamed his hero there, Vladimir Putin. Yeah, isn't it interesting? The words like Slav, Southern Slav, which is Yugoslavia, and the Slavs, it meant slave, the serf. The serf in the Tsarist Russia, they treated their people like slaves, and these were white people. You know, we got to remind people that we're not that far moved from the feudal period. People still lived as feudal serfs in Russia until the Russian Revolution, and then they went right to communism without experiencing capitalism, really. And so we got to cut the Russian people some slack. Here's but not their leaders. Here's the zebras. Look at the zebras in the snow. Gravy zebra here. The zebras. How you doing there, zebra? You look pretty in the snow. Have you ever seen zebra in the snow? There's not many zebras in the snow in Africa. We got them here in Chicago. Look at that. Hey, they're eating their... Let's go over there. Let's check out the... Well, I think this is the best view we're going to get here. How you doing? 3 zebras. I think they're all probably females here. They do separate. There is another zebra that they keep separate in a different area. There's the 3 zebras here at Lincoln Park Zoo. Hey, Judy, how you doing there? Yeah, hey, if you just joined, we're in Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks, Naya Papaya, for mentioning that. See, the St. Pierre David's deer saw us, heard me talking. There's Pierre David's deer. So these are used to being in the snow. This is the natural habitat for these elk-like deer here. Yeah, I'm working from home. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo. This is my lunch break. This is 12:26. This is the same time I walk downtown. I am working today. I'm working from home. Thanks for Judy. Appreciate that. And yeah, 365 there. Thanks, Cindy, for the good information there. 3 zebras in a fountain. 3 coins in a fountain. Each one sinking happiness. Look at the Pierre Davis there. Look, it's munching on something. It's got it. Picked up something from the snow there. I've seen this thing pick up a stick with its antlers and toss it around. You know, sometimes they molt. They get the furry stuff on their antlers and they got to itch it off. Okay, so here we got 12:27. So I know I didn't spend much time at the zoo. We're going to head over to the farm in the zoo and see. Look at this beautiful skyline view we get. And look at the Cheshire cat. Yeah, Judy, no, I'm coming out. I'm coming out at lunchtime here because I'm probably not going to stream tonight because it's probably going to rain. And I just don't want to walk in the rain with the snow. It'll be real slippery. I don't want to damage my equipment. So, because I just bought a new gimbal. The other one got damaged by rain, and it reminds me of it. So that's why we're streaming now at lunch. The weather's not bad at all. It's a little windy, but we're getting close to 30 degrees, which is the warmest we've been in a while. It might get to 40 degrees tomorrow, so I don't know. The snow might start melting. Here's the look at that beautiful skyline you get to Chicago. This is the South Pond. We're by Cafe Briar. We'll head right over to the farm in the zoo, and then we'll head back to work. Yeah, that's why I'm not going to live stream tonight. Thanks for understanding. I appreciate it. You can watch one of my 1,700 reruns. Many of them are over an hour long. So I don't think you'll run out of stuff to see there. And there's even some of the south and west side. You just got to find them. They're there. There's some of the east side. Chris and I went to the east side. I like that, D. Michael. I shot the tariff, but I did not shoot the subsidy. I shot the tariff. Oh, Bob Marley. Yeah, but it was in self-defense. Did Eric Clapton did a version of that too, right? I don't know which came first. I like the Bob Marley version. But here we're in Lincoln Park, the actual park, and we're up by this bridge with the nice view of the skyline. We'll head over to the farm and the zoo. There's no guarantee any of these animals are going to give you out. At least I'll be able to go in some of the barns and get warmed up for a bit. How you want the soap joke? D. Michael, tell the soap joke again. I missed it too. Yeah. Yeah, they do waste a lot of salt. I worry about that too. It gets into our storm water and it gets into our water table. You would think like this whole area would become saltier and saltier every winter, I know. But they do use chemicals, and that shows you. Look, I do not own a car. I do not drive. I do take the bus sometimes in the wintertime or the trains. They do sometimes have to burn the switches on the trains when it gets really cold. But do you have a car? You know, if you have a car, that's the reason they got to salt the roads. Because people punish the mayor if they don't clean up the streets and salt the roads. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword of our modern lifestyle, that everything is salty. Here's the in the wintertime. Here's here, look at the skyline view of the South Pond. Riding the bike. See, Lake Michigan's that way. There's the Genie Gang Pavilion. Look at the nice nature boardwalk. Someone's jogging on that snow. Looks like there's people playing down there. We're going to go to the farm and the zoo here. So, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're going to go to the farm and the zoo. We got 12:30 on the dot. This is the South Pond, Chicago, Illinois. If I say Chicago and over again, people keep asking where this is at. So, it's for their edification there. So, thanks to my mods and everybody else for, if I miss questions, sometimes people know the answer to. Thanks for helping out there. Tom Bod, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Tom Bod, we're over by the farm and the zoo. So we'll see if the cows and the goats are out. A lot of times they're eating this time. I guess this is open. I'm hoping this is open. We'll probably have the whole thing to ourselves here. Tuesday. We're Tuesday, December the 9th, 2025. We're over by Stockton. That's the Parkview Apartments. There's the Lincoln Hotel, Hotel Lincoln. There's the farm and the zoo. Look, I love this. Look at that juxtaposition. You got the red barn with, looks like Iowa, and then off in the distance you see the skyline of Chicago. So it's just like that quarter where they put Illinois with the John Hancock with the farm silo, farm fields of Illinois, downstate. We're upstate here. Chicago. Yeah, sweet home Chicago. You got it. So, hey, it looks like it's open. You're in luck. So this is where we're at. So plan your visit. There's Fullerton, Stockton. This is all the Lincoln Park Zoo. We walked in here. We went over to the Center for the Apes. We walked. Now we're here. We're at the farm and the zoo. We see here's the South Pond. This is a map of the, you can find this online. Farm and the Zoo, Lincoln Park Zoo. You actually have to go outside the zoo and then enter its own gate, and they can close this off. And this is its own little thing here. But hey, they got the farmhouse, you got the windmill, you got the dairy barn, and the, oh, this is the dairy barn. That's the other barn over there, the main barn. Here's the goats. So yeah, here's the goats there. Sometimes they let them out for petting. There's, meh, how you doing there? Meh. How you doing? Meh, it's talking to you. Let's talk to the goats. Yeah, meh, how you doing there? See, I'm talking with the animals, just like the Doolittle song there. Yeah, how you doing there, goat? What do you say? Let's go inside and talk to you here. Talk to the animals. Hey, the cows are here. Hey, goats, how you doing? Come on over to say hello. Let's converse here and goat speak. How you doing there, cows? You having your lunch? Did they milk you yet? So if you just joined with Chicago, we're in the dairy barn. There's your heifer there. There's your cow. See, it reminds me of, I grew up in the farmland. My uncle used to have raised cattle, and he didn't milk them. My dad used to have to milk them when he was a kid. Grew up on the farm. He used to have to milk the cows before he went to school. You think you got it tough? Hey, you eating the straw there? Yeah, you doing your cow? Let's see if the goats will talk to us. Come on, goats. How you doing there, goats? Meh. How you doing there, goats? Yeah, come on over here. How you doing, goats? No, don't fight. Meh. Meh. There's the one that was talking to us. Yeah. Meh. See, when I say yeah, I sound like a goat. So, yeah. Yeah. How you doing there, goats? So, Lincoln Park Zoo. Bunch of kids here. Oh, you met your sweetheart here. That's good. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. There's the cows. See, where else could I live next to a farm and I don't have to maintain the animals? This is nice. So they got the tiger. This is when they had the bulls on parade. This one was decorated for the zoo, so they made it a tiger cow, and you can see it in the dairy barn with the goats and the cows here. Hey, let's see if the ponies are out. No guarantee. So hey, the farm of the zoo, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Thanks for checking it out here. Snow. We got about getting close to 30 degrees, but there's a little wind here. White Castle? Yeah. You want to go to White Castle? No, it's part of the Lincoln Park Zoo. It's part of the Lincoln Park Zoo. They do milk those cows. Yeah, I don't know if a university is associated with this. You might be able to find out if you search online. You type in the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. There might be some more. There might be some universities associated with this. I don't know. There's the chicken coop. There's the farmhouse. Here's the main barn. And see, they got all these wash basins and areas where they can clean the steer head from the Chicago Stock Exchange gate. So this is remember we went down there. We went down to south of Sox Park in Canaryville. We were down at 40 some street in Union. They remember we filmed the gate. This is actually a steer head from the Chicago Stock Exchange, the old Union Stockyards. We went down there. There was a firefighter monument there too that we filmed. We walked through Canaryville before the Sox home opener last year, and we went up to Bridgeport. Hey, the ponies are out. Yeah, let's check out the ponies here. So I dig a pony. I was reminded of that Seinfeld episode where she was like, and when I was a little girl in Poland, I had a pony. My sister had pony. And Seinfeld was all embarrassed. He says, who has a pony? She says, I had a pony. Here's the pony. How you doing your ponies, Lincoln Park Zoo? You eating the leaves there? Oh, you're so furry. Did you march in the parade? We saw some ponies that marched in the Thanksgiving parade. These are the ponies at the Lincoln Park Zoo. They're really close to us. How you doing there, pony? Eating your lunch? Yeah, you eating a straw? What do you think of the snow? You tired of the winter? I bet these horses are tired of, or the ponies are tired of the winter. Good furry ponies there. Yeah, it's fun. You had a pony. Yeah, see, Leanne had a pony. That's good. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. See, this is the farm. This is part of the Lincoln Park Zoo. It's a little off to itself. But here, we're just checking out the ponies. Eating their lunch here. Farm in the zoo. There's some pigs. There's some pigs right next door, but usually I don't see the pigs out. We did one time though. Here's the ponies. I had a pony. My sister had pony. Yeah, My Little Pony. Yeah, I remember when they used to sell those. It was like Strawberry Shortcake, My Little Pony, the Smurfs, all that stuff. I never got a He-Man doll. That was fine. Yeah, eating the straw. Yeah, Grandma's Corner. Thanks for checking out the pony. So here, we'll show you what the inside of this barn looks like. And oh, look, they're fighting over the food here. Isn't this nice? We got this right here. How you doing? Very nice. So here, we'll head around. We'll show the main barn here, and here, see where he's going. They got pigs. So hey, 1238 Lincoln Park, Chicago, Illinois. We're checking out the farm and the zoo. Look at the snow. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain tonight, so I'm resigned that I'm probably not going to do a live stream tonight unless something crazy happens. And unless all this rain becomes snow. Farm and the zoo, main barn. Opens at 10, closes 30 minutes. Okay. It's open. They got a tractor in here. Hey, they're playing on the tractor here. So they got the big buzz bees. Oh, the bees are gone. They had a big bunch of, I guess because it's winter time. They had all the beehive here. You got a John Deere tractor. How you doing? They got all the tires and things here. Planted garden. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo main barn. See, they got that John Deere. You can climb up there and check it out. They got restrooms. They got big A's. You get the chicken coop. We'll see the chickens are out. Explore the nest. You can climb around the eggs there. Feel like a chicken. They got a feeder. See, they got this tractor. I used to drive tractors. You can feel what a tornado feels like. And yeah, we'll head out of here. Hey, the main barn here, Lincoln Park Dairy Barn. Hey, you got a windmill. Yeah, the bees. So we filmed the bees. They must have put the bees somewhere else because it's wintertime. But they got a real beehive there with queen, and they make honey and they help out the flowers around here. There's so many wildflowers around here. Here's the chicken coop. I don't see the chickens out. The chickens are staying warm inside their coop. But here, there it is. There's the farm and the zoo. Look at that fire hydrant. See, that's where the cows are, the dairy barn. Birds and the bees. It's gonna rain in Hazlet. Yeah, Pete, we got rain coming. Isn't that amazing? It's gonna warm up to rain. Thanks for tuning in, Pete. Everybody else there. Yeah, if you rewind, we got some really good footage of the gorillas in the great ape house there. What time we got? 12:40. I'll walk back to the zoo and we'll check out the small primate house. But there's a live tab on my YouTube, so after this is over, or you can do it right now. You could either rewind this like a TiVo or like, you know, a DVR, or you could wait till it's over and watch it afterwards. We're going to go back to the Lincoln Park Zoo, and I'll walk through because I missed it on the way there, we'll walk through the small primate house, see if any little monkeys are out, and then we'll head back to work here. In the mist, gorillas in the mist there, yeah. Tractor Supply, yeah. Tractor Supply was selling the, oh, they were talking about something there, a windmill. Oh, Tractor Supply was selling the windmills. Yeah, that's good. Chickens are on strike, yeah. Without bees, we're done. You're right. It'd be ecological collapse. If the flowers won't be able to pollinate, we'll lose all the flowers, and then we'll cause a chain reaction. But there's other birds. There's like hummingbirds. Other things pollinate as well. But the bees are the major part of the ecology. Yeah. Yeah, duck and cover if there's an earthquake. So if you just joined, we're in Chicago. This is United States of America, planet Earth, Chicago, Illinois. We're near the North Pond, and we got 12:42 in the PM, Central Time Zone, North America. We're going to head to the Lincoln Park Zoo. We were there earlier. We just went to the farm and the zoo where they got those barns. We got some snow on the ground, but it's supposed to rain tonight. So I'm not going to live stream tonight. If I'm repeating myself, this is the nature of live streaming. Everything you just said, I just said all this 2 minutes ago, but new people tune in and they are like, what country? And I don't know why it's so important, but I guess it is. Maybe for legal purposes or so they can spy on me. Hey, it's an equal opportunity spy channel here. Police might be tuning in, ICE might be tuning in. I don't want that to happen, but I can't stop them. And the surveillance society, so we're always being surveilled all the time. Google and Apple are coming out with their glasses. People are going to be recording you when you're having a conversation. You won't even know it. You know, and I know it's the creep factor. I try not to. If people ask me not to film them, I'll film something else. I respect their wishes. Even if it's my First Amendment right, I'll be like, yeah, I don't need to film you. I can film something else. Thanks for letting me know. See, people are always like, show your face. Show your face. Like this is all AI generated. I saw they tried to recreate what Chicago looked like with AI, and they used some old photographs, but they got some things wrong, and they didn't notice it in AI. They showed Michigan Avenue how it looked after the Great Chicago Fire, and then they had a little gap, and then the AI put buildings where Grant Park is, and everybody right away you noticed it. You're like, oh, this is AI, it's fake. It's wrong. They messed it up. AI makes mistakes. I just hope it doesn't lead to a cataclysmic mistake that ends the world. But here, look at this nice view. We're going to blame Jeff Bezos. We're going to hold him responsible for ruining the world. Here's, there, look at that. There's a nice skyline view to Chicago. This is the South Pond, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth. We're looking south here. That's the skyline. It's a small portion of skyline Chicago. The skyline's so big you can't get the whole thing in one shot. We're looking at it long ways from north to south. And the waterfalls there. Okay, let's go back to the zoo here. We got 12:44. I'm never gonna make it back to my apartment here. Yeah, watch out, Bryce. That cracks me up. Like I said, the same people like 6 months ago, they're like, Chicago's a hellhole, you're gonna get shot, it's so unsafe and murderous. The same people will say, thanks President Trump for making Chicago safe for Chicagoans. They sent ICE and now people feel safe enough to walk around. I was walking around the entire time. I just consider ICE another gang. You know, we got gangs in Chicago, real gangs, and you notice ICE doesn't even want to fight the gangs. They fight the they wrestle the grandma to the ground, and the little kid, leave the little kid in the car. That's I know it's just my opinion. Here, look at the squirrel. Yeah, so here, let's head over to the monkey house here. Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for tuning in. Kazakhstan, how you doing there? So what people that live outside the United States, how are you seeing the ICE round up people that are not US citizens? Is that playing on your news? Do you see, I'm sure you probably see it on social media, and I wonder what your reaction to it is. Do you feel better about America or less inclined to visit America because of this, or could care less, like it's our own problem, you can't care, you know, it doesn't matter to you either way, you let us handle our own domestic affairs the way we want? Hey, remember being a kid running around the Lincoln Park Zoo? Yeah, that's great. Pakistan's tuning in. How you doing there? See people tuning in from all over the world. That's great. Thanks for letting us know. If I missed your country or city there, thanks for tuning in here. This is Chicago, Lincoln Park Zoo. I'm on my lunch break. We got 12:46. We're going to go to the small monkey house. We already checked these out. The Western Lowland Gorilla, we saw them. And so we're going to see something else here. Yeah, thanks for the coordinates there. Thanks for putting the lat long there. That helps out. Yeah, so people can find it on the map. Just copy and paste that there. GMJMNAP. Yeah. Sagey's turning in there. Other countries are marching in our solidarity. It depends on which countries. It depends on if they're authoritarian or democracies. Yeah, I know. I don't think. I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about that offline. One Golden Nubian. I think. You know my politics. Here's you watch enough here. Hey, here's. Hey, you don't think? Hey, appreciate it. Here's the primate house here. The Helen Brach primate house. Here's a map of it. So we'll see if any monkeys are out. We came here when the zoo lights were going on. All the monkeys were sleeping, so they might be sleeping. So I'll just show you their empty habitats here. The Allen Swamp monkey. There's the Allen Swamp monkey. Yeah, I think they're all sleeping it off here. It seems like they're feeding them inside. There's one up there. Look at the beautiful. They got really long tails. These are the colobus monkeys. Colobus monkeys. I used to call them Columbus monkeys, but they're colobus monkeys. And they got a real bushy tail that hangs down. There's several of them, but they're all. There must be some. Oh, there they are. There they are. I just need to adjust my eyes there. There's the colobus monkeys. Look at it's pulling on the tail there. It's actually looking for bugs. They groom each other. There's one. They're up there. There's the Columbus monkeys. They're sitting up high. They sit in the windows. They can look out and see the cars from Lakeshore Drive. It's hard to see with the glass scratches, but hey, we're seeing some monkeys. Okay, good. Here, let me show you how the name's spelled here. Black and white colobus monkeys. I call them Columbus monkeys, but they're colobus monkeys. Colobus monkeys. There they are, cute. There they are. Oh, is it coming down? Come on down. Come on down there. Give us a show. Yeah, look at that beautiful tail there. At least it unfurled its tail. Yeah, look at that tail. Used to live in Dubai. Hey, that's great. So these are the gibbons. The gibbons are great, but there's a gibbon. There they are. How you doing there, gibbons? There's a black one and there's a tan one. Black and tan. Look at there. They're going to give us a show here. Here's the gibbons, Lincoln Park Zoo. These things are great. They're really, you ever see the TikTok videos where somebody gives them a piece of fruit and they walk with their arms above their head and they'll eat the fruit, and they're pretty loving. They hug each other. There they are, the gibbons. These are the gibbons at the Lincoln Park Zoo. They're climbing up here. You were born here? Hey, that's good. Yeah, watch the parades. Hey, how you doing there looking at us? There's the cute little gibbons, their cute little faces. How you doing there? All right, we'll keep on going here. Philadelphia, how you doing there, Sticks? Yeah, we're in the Lincoln Park Zoo here. Bolivian gray TT monkey. There's the gibbons are up high there. Let's see, do we see the monkey anywhere? Let me know if you see it here. Might be hiding in the back there. The doors are open. See, they can go. They got an area in the back. They don't always have to be on display. They can get out of the public gaze, which is, at least they got a place to go. See, they got these little hammocks. These are the southern black howler monkeys, Lincoln Park Zoo, and there's no guarantee they're going to be out. So here we'll head around to the other side. Here we got the Brazos monkey. Brazos monkey. This is there it is. There's the Brazos. How you doing there? So if you want to see the chimpanzees and the great apes that we filmed them earlier, you can rewind this or watch the live rerun. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. This is the Brazos monkey. He's eating the food out of the little green thing there. Yeah, the Brazos. Aisha, how you doing there? Sanjay, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in here. So here's the Francoise Langueur. That's what they call these. They usually sit up there, but yeah. Sometimes they sit up there and they look at the cars on Lakeshore Drive, but I don't see them. I didn't see if they see here. Got the nice hammocks here. Cost of care, Francoise Langueur. I like their hairdos. They got like the punk rock hairdos there. Look at that. Francoise Langueur. Here's the pied tamarin. Look at that little face there. See if we can see it here. Look at this waterfall. They got this nice waterfall. Then there's the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Okay, we got 12:52. I got to get back to work here, so I'll spend the next 8 minutes. We'll walk back through the main part of the zoo, and we'll head back out into the park, and I'll start heading home here. Here's Santa Claus. So thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you guys tuned in, because I'm probably not going to live stream tonight because it's going to start raining by the time I usually stream, and so we'll take a break tonight, and we'll be back at it tomorrow at some point, depending on the weather. And you got plenty of reruns. You got 1,700 reruns on YouTube. You got 3,500 much shorter videos on TikTok. Some of those are shorts on YouTube, but some of them are, I probably got 1,000 videos an hour long, or at least 800. Changes in Dubai? Yeah, Grandma's Corner, thanks for, you can subscribe for free. You can find me if we ever go down here. I'm on TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe for free. Both of them, Brian Really Chicago. Here's the zebras. They light all this stuff up at night, the inchworm. Here, let's see if the lions are out. You didn't see them? They're not out. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know. They usually, they were out earlier. They were sitting on the heated rocks in the snow. It was amazing to see them in the snow, but nah, not today. Sorry. So here we'll show the. Thanks for the information. So yeah, we'll just show you the holiday decorations here. And see, we showed this at night with the tunnel here. Here's the lion habitat, Lincoln Park Zoo. Looks different in the day. India's tuning in, that's good. Aisha. Ireland, how you doing there, Kevin? Yeah, thanks for tuning in from across the pond there. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got tuning in from all over the world. This is great. Belize. Oh, so you live in Belize, so you see the real monkeys down there. You don't have to go to the zoo. I know. I have had friends that, like, Zen Chef Mo there, he's in Bali. And I've had other friends I work with, they worked out of Indonesia. There's just monkeys. Like, we have squirrels here everywhere. The monkeys are just everywhere. They're in the park. They're on the top of the bus, you know, in the city, you know, just like we got squirrels. And when my long lost Norwegian relatives visited me 20 years ago in Chicago, they were fascinated by the squirrels because tragically they explained to me, even though Scandinavia has lemmings, or used to have lemmings, they almost hunted them to extinction. So there's like no like little rodents left. And they said, we don't have squirrels in Oslo. I'm like, really? There's no squirrels in Oslo? They said, no. Here's SpongeBob. That's according to them. So you might be tuning in from Norway and you're like, no, we got squirrels. Let me know. Maybe they were pulling my leg because they were my cousins. It got me good. But here's the seal pond. Islamabad, you got monkeys in Islamabad. Thanks for tuning in there, Seiji. Yeah, this is Lincoln Park. So this is the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We're filming the seals here. And we might, you know, I'll try it. I'll go underwater. I'll go really slow because I always lose my connection because I get excited. Like I'll see them swimming and I'll run over to, and then I'll lose my connection because it's too many walls down underneath the seal pool here. But here, let me walk a little slow, maybe. So if we cut in and out, sometimes I lose my connection, live streaming connection when I go down here. Please be patient. We might catch some that way. There's a seal swimming. Are you seeing this? If I lose my connection, I'll go get it back. This is what happens. I always walk along with them when they swim. And there it is. Look at that. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Seals, Lincoln Park Zoo. Very nice. Yeah. Look at that. We'll see if we get another view here. Used to sing Christmas songs to the seals. Hey, that's a good idea. Sing Christmas carol to the harbor seal and the gray seal here in Lincoln Park, Chicago. See if it comes back around here. Does pirouettes there. Yeah. You can tell I don't want to go back to work. There it is. Look at the seal. See, they swim upside down. Look at that. Let's see if it comes over here. It might come over for one more view here. There it is. There's the seal. Come turn around. Turn around. You can turn this way. Yeah, come back. There it is. Yeah, there's the shot. That's a harbor seal. Look how I get spots there. It's all speckled. See how it surfaces. Here comes one. There's his friend. That's a gray seal. Excuse me. That's a gray seal, and that's a harbor seal. Two different kinds of seals here. You see how they have fingernails? Why do seals have fingernails? They think they were on land at one time and went back into the water, like they're related to cows and buffaloes and dogs. They're probably more closely related to dogs and bears. Like dogs, bears, and seals are probably pretty close there genetically. Right, we'll head out of here. Don't quote me on that. I'm not Charles Darwin. But hey, thanks for tuning in. We saw some seals here. I got to head back to work here. We got 12:59. So I'll walk you out to the entrance of the zoo. I'll sign off as soon as we get out of the zoo. Thanks to the mods. Thanks to people that tuned in from all over the world. Appreciate it. And yeah, let's I won't be streaming tonight. I'll send a message to everybody. It's supposed to rain. I'll just take the night off, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in there. Spread the word, and we'll see what happens the rest of the week there. Did I miss anything there? Let's see. Yeah, Yesha, Sabrina, Suburban Garden, thanks for tuning in there. XRT fan, Gene, Eva, Merck, Christy. Yeah, the seals are cute. They're Grandma's Corner. Thanks for being on. I really appreciate it. Mary Therese, everybody else. And if I missed you there, Anita, I don't know who else is tuning in. And yeah, have a great rest of your day there. One golden Nubian there. Yeah, they got a farm in the zoo. Isn't that nice? Thanks for tuning in, checking out the reruns. We'll see you tomorrow. So, thanks for tuning in at lunchtime. Stay dry. We'll see how much rain we get and what the snow looks like after this. So, hey, we'll leave you with the Schiller statue. Is the backside of him. Thanks a lot there. Dolores, Mia, Peggy, Wes. See you later. Thanks a lot, everybody. Okay, Wes, you're the last one. Thanks a lot.